and welcome back to the program. You're watching Morning Thailand with Phai and Golf. Now, of course, Kun Phai, one of the biggest news, I would say, on the front page is talking about the cultural department, the ministry actually, coming up with 68 items on the list that's supposed to be listed as our own, more or less. So
it's like our own claim that it's our culture, our heritage.
So this particular case is talking about trying to make sure, Kun Sontaya Kun Ploom, the culture minister, talking about trying to make sure that we will be able to register 68 items altogether. And when I say items, it's not just objects. These include different culture,
festival,
tradition, rice, exactly, and different customs and such. That's supposed to represent Thai, being Thai. Now, they say that there are 7 branches altogether that they looked at, talking about arts and performances. There's 15 on the list. Just to give you a few here, this including Like Pa. Now, if you have seen Like before, is one of those almost like a musical play, but in Thai folks kind of way. Right? So this is supposed to be intellectual cultural heritage.
So is that different from normal Like when you say Like Pa?
So it's
Like in the jungle?
Pretty well, I believe it's probably a little bit more
like
local.
Like
yeah, exactly. As well, we're talking about different types of crafting as well. In crafting, there's 10 items altogether in crafting. For example, all our silk, the way that we weaving our cloth and such, that would be part of it as well. Some sports get on here. Muay Thai, I don't know if you have seen boxing. We call it, almost like ocean boxing, but technically it's more like water boxing. You get on the log, 2 of you, and then you kind of, fight each other out, and whoever could not hold yourself on the log would actually fall. Technically, you can use your legs if you can grab on, even if you fall. As long as you're still on that log, you will be fine. Now, a lot more interesting items. One of the biggest one that would be quite interesting, I would say, would be the Siamese fighting fish, because we have made quite a big names. A lot of people like to enjoy them as a pet. Or even collector items, because obviously this is within Southeast Asia as well. So I'm not sure how that would work. And jasmine rice would be on it.
It's too late for jasmine rice.
I don't know. That's what they said. It was on the list. So we have to see, whether or not that would be the case, as well as some languages. For example, they say Thai Korat, or the northeastern dialect that would only be spoken by Thai, as well as Tak Bai, which would be a little bit more challenging, because apparently Tak Bai language is situated down south. Perhaps our neighboring country might be speaking that as well. So at this point, it's not that no one else could do it, but we would like to claim that these are ours, pretty much, the intellectual cultural heritage.
How to say it's a good initiative?
I don't know, to showcase being Thais.
And at least it's like encourage Thai people, especially kids,
to maybe look more into this.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right?
All right.
This is what it's called, traditional pakoma,
right? Which is, we use to wrap ourselves when we go and take a bath and such in the river.
More information about this, whether it's registered officially or not. Now, moving on to the topic that we've been waiting for, the rise of the cost of living for Thai people this day.
We've been waiting for.
Yeah, the news. I mean, yesterday, there's a special meeting of the economic team at the Parliament building, and yesterday, Kun Thanawat Ponvichai, the director of the Center for Economic and Business Forecasting of the University of Thai Chamber of Commerce, was invited there to present his viewpoint regarding the adjustment of expressway fee, the LPG price, and FT fee, which he said is mandatory, because you know what? Throughout the previous years, Kun Thanawat said that the government has already pegged the price of commodities at the level that is below the market prices. That's why the system did not meet the international standard. The LPG prices, which is standing at 6 baht lower than the global prices. So the hike will encourage the public at all sectors to adapt, and assures that he assures that this hike will not affect the economy that much. Kun Thanawat predicts that economy will still grow by 4.5% as we are already seeing the global economy picking up quite well recently. And meanwhile, at the government house yesterday, there was a cabinet meeting as well, where a group of people, around 40 people, were there to submit a letter to the Prime Minister asking the cabinet to reconsider the price adjustment. They called on the Prime Minister to keep her promise while campaigning for the election. That the Pheu Thai party said they would drag down the cost of living of Thai people. However, it seems that everything is on the rising trend these days. And also they were asking the government to stop subsidization of the state oil fund and hold the FT fee increase until the end of this year so that it would not affect much of the public.
Okay.
And at 2 p.m. today, the group will march to the United Nations office on Ratchadamnern Avenue to hand in their petition asking them to just look at the matter. Wow. And there's an issue of the Easy Pass problem, right? As you mentioned on the first day.
Yeah, I'm very upset.
A lot of motorists are complaining about the faulty display of the amount stored in the Easy Pass, and also that amount shown on the signboard at the toll booth. The Expressway Authority of Thailand, or the EXAT governor, stated that the EXAT is working to improve the Easy Pass system efficiency, and that caused a delay in the process of retrieving information from the central data system, and that one linked to the signboard in front of the toll booth.
Right.
And that's why the amount shown wasn't quite accurate and causing a lot of problem there because a lot of motorists could not get through.
It's not really easy to pass. That's just
there
oftentimes sometimes I have to just kind of make a left or right turn to go into a next lane because there's some problem with Easy Pass, or even times when they decided not to open the gate for me and I have to back up all the way where everybody's have to wait. So technically, if you're gonna do it, it's got to be more accurate than this. I guarantee you there's mistakes every day. Every day. So that's not very good in terms of...
So however, we have to still brace yourself until the end of September because the governor of the EXAT promised that he will solve the problem. However, that would extend until the end of this month. Otherwise, if it failed, he would resign from his position.
Oh, I don't know. That might be a little bit much. I don't know if that's a good move.
It's really confident.
Right.
However, if you want to check the exact amount of your Easy Pass, you can go to their website www.thaieasypass.com or call their hotline number 1543 around the clock. And apart from that, not just on the road, the Airport Authority of Thailand that represents the Suvarnabhumi Airport and also Dongmueang Airport will also propose the airport fee hike.
Yeah.
A little bit more as they said, because currently it stands at 100 for
a lot, I would say.
Domestic passenger. They would ask for a 50 baht increase because
so almost another.
It's like 50%. Right?
Exactly. 50% increase, that's ridiculous. Seriously.
And for international passenger from 700 baht these days, they will go up to 800. 100 baht.
Yeah.
And if it's approved, this would take effect starting from the 1st of January 2014, and that pretty much affects the cost of
traveling at this point. And the thing is might dampen a lot or prevent a lot of people from
coming to Thailand.
Yeah, coming to Thailand or even traveling within the country, because it's already, we already bear quite a bit of expenses just to go on our daily basis.
Yeah.
And to add this on top of that, maybe we would stop traveling altogether and, I don't know, stay home, work at home, ask your boss if you can work on computer and send your work online. I don't
You know what? Some protesters in India have already destroyed their cars in reaction to the fuel price hike because they don't need to use them anymore because they can afford the...
Oh, they cannot afford anymore?
No.
Well, I'm not going to go that far because I just bought my car. So, let's keep your car. Don't go to that extent. Now, however, if you're a drinker, this
that's
might
pretty much a problem.
Yeah, that's pretty much a problem because obviously, technically, the price is already hit the ceiling in terms of the tax for all the alcohol. But apparently, yesterday there was what they call a secret meeting trying to make sure that they're preventing people from hoarding all the alcohol beverages. So they did not tell us beforehand, but it's affected like today, like right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
At midnight.
At midnight. So technically it's 6 hours already, but you can't buy it anyway, in the morning. So that should be fine. Anyway, they say that at this point, if you would like to get yourself some wine or beer and such, you will find yourself that you're going to have to pay a little bit more. And they say that, for example, for Chang beer, 330 milliliter bottle used to be 25. Today, if you go in, it will be 27.96 baht, so 28 baht per se. And for Heineken, if you do not like Thai beer, Heineken, 330 milliliters, it will be 42 baht. 7 stang, so instead of 40 baht that you normally have. Now they say that the excise department already ordered its official to be on alert to prevent any smuggling of the untaxed alcohol and hoarding of liquor following this particular decision. They say that for maximum for beer will be maintained at 60% of the product's value, but the effective tax rate per liters of 100% alcohol content will rise from 100 baht to 300 baht. Now they say that the tax hike will effectively driven up beer prices by about 3 to 7 baht per bottle, so depending on how big you're drinking. And they say for wine, for those of you who like wine, products worth less than 600 baht per bottle will be exempt from the value base. So technically, if you drink a little bit cheaper wine, you'll be okay. However, those that price over 600 baht, you will get 36% hike. Retails will be taxed 36% more of the retail value. And they say that liquor prices will increase 7 to 15% depending on the alcohol content. And all wines will now be taxed at 1,000 baht per liter of pure alcohol up from 100 baht. So that's quite a bit of a jump there. So brace yourself if you go in, you order beer or order wine, and if the price went up, don't be alarmed. It's because they have a secret meeting yesterday and it's effective this morning. So I'm sorry for those drinkers out there, just pay a little bit more, but maybe this is a good time for you to cut back on drinking. So that way you save a little bit money and pay for the Easy Pass.
Oh, good. Because Kun Kittirat Naranong, the Deputy Finance Minister, after the meeting, he said that this particular tax hike was aimed at reducing the number of alcohol drinkers in the country.
See, it's all for your good. So, don't feel bad. Still, it's still probably cheaper than, in North America. So.
A lot of commodities prices has gone up only, but not only the para rubber price, right?
Exactly. But, well, we did not gather for the hike of the alcohol, not at this point.
Because yesterday there's a meeting as well of the cabinet members, and they talked about the protest of the para rubbers in the south. Because yesterday, September the 3rd, there was a big gathering. However, they wait until afternoon after the cabinet approved the measures for them. And it seems that the cabinet's measure had failed them again because they approved 5.62 billion baht from the central budget for use as a subsidy for the rubber planters as proposed by the National Rubber Policy Committee. Kun Kittirat Naranong, Deputy Prime Minister, said that a subsidy of 1,260 baht will be given per right of rubber plantation to the farmer, but limited to only 10 right per farmer. And that's a problem because that's a lot lower than the one the government earlier promised and accepted by rubber farmers in the central part of Thailand, in the north and also in the northeast, but rejected by those in the south and the east because earlier they said that they would offer a subsidy of up to 25 right per farmer. Because that 15 right, a lot less than promised, and that means the amount of money that would be a lot less as well. So this made by the decision, the rubber growers in the south and the east have geared up for a big gathering yesterday, starting at around 2 p.m. It seems that the big venue was in Surat Thani. The report said that, the report said that around 20,000 people were there for the gathering, but not only in Surat Thani, in other provinces as well. In Rayong of the eastern part of Thailand and also in Chonburi, there's the protest of the rubber growers that they were asking for the price hike, only the subsidy for the rubber sheet that should be between 100 no less than 100 baht. That would be okay. But with the subsidy and a lot less than earlier promised, that wouldn't be okay. And there seems to be not only just a crowd of people, they had blocked the road, linking.
There's blocking the road, linking the southern part. As you can see there, it's quite big. Now they say that 4 spots altogether that the police general Piya Utayo that had came up yesterday talk about in Phun Phin district of Surat Thani province, about 6,500 people. That's what he said. And in front of the Rayong provincial center, right? As well, there's a blockade of road around there. There's the area in the Bung Sampan district in Phetchabun province where the intersection, Rahun intersection was closed. And in Chawat district of Nakhon Si Thammarat province, of course, that's one of the biggest one. There's some in Chumphon, Krabi, as well as Trang provinces.
Yeah, and due to the disappointment of rubber farmers, Kun Kittirat said that the group should send representatives to talk to him, to negotiate with him, and he will be waiting at the government complex in Jang Watana area in Bangkok at 2 p.m. today. However, the protester called on him to come down, meet him in the south, in Nakhon Si Thammarat or Surat Thani.
So at this point, I think there's quite a bit of division because some of the protesters, some of the core leaders, we can say core leaders, but there's so many factions at this point. I've just divided them into factions, but there's so many sectors. There's like the representative from the 14 southern provinces. There's a representative of the cooperative
in Surat Thani.
Yeah, in Surat Thani province. And there's many others. Some want to negotiate. Some say that, I'll go to Bangkok. But some say that, no way, you come down. So I don't know how this is going to work.
But that reflects one thing, that they were not being paid for the gathering. This has come because the plight is really being looked over, and the government will send Police Major General Thawat Bunfeung, the Deputy Secretary General, to the Prime Minister to Nakhon Si Thammarat to negotiate with the protesters in the area. And he already scheduled the talks with the representative this morning. So probably we would hear a lot more answer tomorrow. And also, riot police have been deployed to tighten security at the international airports in Surat Thani and Krabi as well, because it's a threat.
Well, they did kind of, go around the area yesterday, but they did not close it yesterday. There's also a report of a shooting, another shooting. Another person shot dead. However, once again, now we have been reported about the incident on September 1st, where one person shot dead, Kun Sirichai Bunnuwong. However, the police claim that it was, a quarrel or fighting, an argument, a conflict within the protesters themselves. Now, yesterday they said that at about 2 in the morning, Kun Wanna Wong Prayun passed away due to shooting and several shooting in the back, as well as, around his body and such, and they say that this is once again because there's a conflict within the protesters themselves. So be very careful if you're going to have to go in the area. You never know what's going to happen, because when you involve large crowd, that's the risk that you have to take. All right, let's take a short break. We have the updates on all the political world at this point, I would say. I will talk a little bit about the Senate qualification and what the Democrat Party thinks about it. And of course, Kun Fai will mention the Democrat Party and what did they think about the forum yesterday.
The reform panel.
Exactly, so please stay tuned.